Ciao gente. Thank you for clicking on the video. I play PvZ and I have a horrible stutter, so please keep that in mind. And that's it, so enjoy the video, punks. Roadie Z. He's an engineer variant who's a literal band member, which means he most likely has a garage. But that's a conversation for another day. He falls under the super rare rarity and has many gimmicks to his name. The engineer class has a very unique primary weapon. Rather than a fully automatic weapon like Foot Soldier, the engineers have wobbing-based projectiles. The engineer variants who have these wobbing-based projectiles are the following: regular engineer, welder, electrician, plumber, landscaper, sanitation expert, and AC parry. Almost half of the engineer variants follow this formula of having wobbing-based projectiles. Why do I even bring this up in the first place? Well, Roadie Z takes this formula and completely throws it out the window. Roadie Z's primary is a short-range weapon with infinite ammo. While Roadie Z holds down his primary, there's a hitbox in front of him. And keep in mind when I said short-range weapon. So if there was a plant standing not in front of you, you just won't hit that plant literally at all. However, if there is a plant standing in front of you, the Ear-radicator, his primary weapon name, does the following. They take 9 ticks of damage while being in the range. The plants will have their screen blinded by blue. If you consistently attack a plant for 2 seconds, around 6 to 7 ticks of damage, they will then be pushed back, receiving the knockback effect. This knockback effect could do the following: take Peashooter out of his Gatling, take Sunflower out of Sunbeam, and could cancel Torchwood's Blazing Blast ability. And lastly, Roadie Z could attack through certain walls. Yes, attack through certain walls. The most notable walls are on Zomburbia Point 1, or through any wall that is quite thin. Take the Z-Tech factory wall for an example. Due to the Ear-radicator being an overheat weapon, you can use a technique called spam clicking to increase Roadie Z's damage per second. The only step to perform the strategy is to just spam your primary, and that is literally it. Spam clicking is not a required technique to pull off, but compared to Roadie Z not spam clicking at all, you can see there is a big difference in spam clicking and not spam clicking. A little bonus while using this technique would be your overheat. As we mentioned earlier, Roadie Z's weapon is an overheat weapon. Usually with overheat weapons, if you hold it down for too long, your primary will overheat, which means you won't be able to use your primary for up to 3 seconds. But a bonus to the spam click strategy is that you will pretty much never ever overheat. It takes miles longer to overheat while spam clicking compared to holding down your primary. Roadie Z is also the only zombie to receive an additional health, increasing his base health from 125 to the big 150, which technically classifies Roadie Z as the only zombie armored variant. Even though he's labeled as an armored variant, he still has the exact same speed as engineer, which is pretty damn cool. Roadie Z himself also receives some very unique character upgrades. Roadie Z is the only zombie to receive not 1, but 2 damage upgrades. While using 1 damage upgrade, this increases his damage from 9 to 10, and while using 2 damage upgrades, this increases his damage from 9 to 11 damage. So combine these 2 damage upgrades alongside the spam click strategy, you could pretty much just melt any plant you want as long as they're in your face, which seems pretty fair. Roadie Z's best upgrade loadout, of course, includes the 2 damage upgrades and a health upgrade. The 2 damage upgrades allow him to deal 11 damage, and combined with the health upgrade, you have in total 160 health, which turns you in a result into a very fat tank with a killer primary to use up close. But with this up close primary, how do you actually get up close? Step 1, you equip Turbo Jackhammer. Step 2, you activate Turbo Jackhammer. Step 3, prepare your spam click. Step 4, repeat. That is a Roadie Z mains game plan. A turbo jackhammer, spam click, kill, die. A turbo jackhammer, spam click, kill, die. Turbo jackhammer, spam click, kill, die. That is all Roadie Z is. Which is why Roadie Z is a very... Though, there is one other playstyle that Roadie Z does have, which I will title the Title Defense Roadie. This playstyle is the following, where you stand beside a teammate and then act like a total bodyguard. If there is a plant trying to rush one of your teammates, stun, spam click, dead. Since no plant in the game could challenge you up close, specifically from the Ear-radicator having knockback and you dealing 11 damage per spam click, they just can't kill you up close. But if you're not playing the Title Defense Roadie, it's simply just a turbo jackhammer, spam click, kill, die. Roadie Z's biggest strength is for sure being the biggest Chomper counter. Since in order for the Chomper to attack Roadie Z, they have to be up close to Roadie Z and take a wild guess where Roadie Z excels up close. But of course, with all this in mind, Roadie Z has no range game. If there's a plant at range, Roadie Z literally can't do anything. The most he can do is either use Turbo Jackhammer to approach, or activate Bolt Blaster and just... Or you can throw down Stun Grenade and simply just walk over to the plant. If you're attempting to counter Roadie Z, I would do one of the following. Select any Citron, select Torchwood, or Yeti Chomper. Any orange counters Roadie Z, since if Roadie Z does make it up close to you, you can simply do one of two things. One, go in ball form and then run away, or use EM Peach and then run away. Since once again, being in front of Roadie Z is pretty much death, so having two options to run away from the Ear-radicator is very, very nice. A little bonus is that you also have 200 health, so even if Roadie Z does make it up to you, you have more than enough health to tank some hits. Torchwood makes it here since for one, he has 275 health, the highest base health in the entire game, mind you, and two, he has the Leaf Shield ability, which while activated, it gives you a shield, which tones down Roadie Z's damage from 11 to a measly, which in summary, it pretty much makes you unkillable. And lastly, Yeti Chomper. I specifically state Yeti Chomper rather than the others simply from his range primary. As we talked about earlier, standing in front of Roadie Z is death. And how does Chomper excel? Staying up close. So as Yeti Chomper, you could simply just not do that. He has a range primary, which also has the ice element. So you could stay at a medium or long range distance, use your primary, and then eventually freeze Roadie Z. And a little bonus is that you have regular goop, which you can simply use and prevent Roadie Z from using any abilities. While standing completely still, you can hear Roadie Z's backpack and making noise. The longer you hold down Roadie Z's primary, the longer you will hear Roadie Z scream. And finally, Roadie Z is the only armored zombie variant.